You will watch for the signs of the grower, for the grower will see the dead tree. The grower will witness the new shoots, and the grower will prune. And when the time is right, the grower will return to grow the new dunny. It was a momentous experience for those of us who were chosen. The chance to witness the awakening of Dunny from what Richard Watson described as a long hibernation. We marveled at the wonders that the original inhabitants had left behind. New ages were opened, and relationships were forged. And then instability in the area led to the site's permanent closure. It was a crushing blow to be forced to abandon the cabin. But for some of us, our duty to Dunny remained undiminished.
Everyone has been given a stunner. There are only 2 settings. The default delivers a sharp jolt, and the higher setting will incapacitate the target.
You shot me!
Surprisingly not on purpose.
The elders have decided that the second attendant will help the Lightbringer.
So you're confident if the engineers get this repaired, you can help us increase the crop in the valley?
We will make it so.
This is Simon Felter. He came down with the recent security contingent.
I made it down to Dunny. I'm kind of surprised we haven't encountered other explorers down here seeking refuge.
Would this boat be useful? Should we call out an engineer?
Hang on, Andy. There was an alert on our signal tracking software, which is why the Colonel wanted us here. Yes, I can see it. There's definitely someone nearby using one of the original key devices.
Hasn't anyone surveyed this neighborhood before this?
Haven't a clue. Chop chop. What do you think?
People have definitely been sleeping here. Only the ears of the new ones will hear the true grower. Do not be deceived. What's that supposed to? Simon?
Come here for a moment.
It looks like schematics for some kind of processing plant.
Arcana, if I'm not mistaken.
Chop chop.
We must remain stalwart. The Maker will protect us. There are abundant fish in the lake, and for the moment we have plenty of rations. Remember, a new tree boasts the beliefs of old, a tree of stone and power. Deep roots sustain it, roots that absorb the waters of the past, waters long forgotten but still flowing underground.
What now?
3 years, and the menu hasn't changed.
Hey, you made it. I wasn't sure you'd get away.
I like your hair.
And you grew yours. Actually, it really suits you.
Be honest, the Fellowship, is it all you dreamed it would be? Morgan?
UN Special Projects seem pleased.
You mean Sarek?
Was he pleased? Did my dissembling ever really help? Sarek's guilt was my ticket down here, yet for a long time I failed to find a purpose. Until you. Yanishya, sharer of burdens. And for you, heaven knows I tried. So I have to ask, once the turmoil was gone, did you feel as I do, hollow as a husk? Katya told me that some call the vessel the seed. Is that even possible? Could such volcanic rage engender new vision? I was taught that chaos and confusion are the heralds of clarity. So can we do that now, you and I? Hold to that hope?
Good, you're on your way. Never mind. There are still wonders, Morgan. Remember my flying dream? It wasn't a dream. Well, it was, and I wasn't actually flying. Firefly flew me off to see the disused factories. But something happened. I think she lost her bearings. Or was confused by the scent because we landed in this field flooded with wildflowers, all a different shade of lavender. An unforeseen planting that Boromir sent. I will ask her to show you, because it gave me hope, Morgan. I can't explain why. Did something happen when you left Henry with those Age Riders?
I don't think so. Although we still haven't figured out how to tell the Colonel.
Maybe it has to do with her visit to that Barrow place?
The Cave of Clarity. Something she saw there?
It's what I didn't see.
Maybe a drink would help.
It's a bit early.
Hey Lango, sjung hopp faderallen Hey Lango, sjung hopp faderallen Och den som inte helan tar han inte heller halvan får Helan går Sjung hopp faderallen
Oh lord, this doesn't bode well. Felger?
I can't really talk at the moment.
You called me, Lieutenant!
Yes, I did indeed. I did. Give me a moment, sir.
What's wrong?
Sharer of Burdens is broken.
I beg your pardon?
Okay, I can speak now. To cut a very long story short...
Oh dear God.
The readings were right, Colonel. There are some people down here using the original key devices.
Cat, you predicted this. How many?
20-ish? The older members of the group have all been down here before. They've made themselves quite at home, sir. They've even been fishing.
Fishing?
There's a lake fish that apparently tastes like flounder.
They aren't glowing, are they?
Sir?
Felger, what are their intentions?
Apart from seeking refuge, several of them are offering to help out in the Arcana factory. But...
Hang on a minute. What?
He who commands, I believe it would be prudent to give Sharer of Burdens, Lightbringer, and the Masked One some gainful employment.
Masked One? You mean Mazeroski. Good idea. What?
I need Lightbringer. Very important work.
Right. Felger, are you still there?
Waiting for your orders, sir.
I've got your coordinates. I'm sending Mazeroski, Lapahi, and Biscotti.
It's quite a hike by ferry.
Have some fish.
We can provide transport.
They'll be there soon, Lieutenant. Collins out.
Can you please keep still?
Oh.
How much did you have to drink?
I don't know about you two, but it was Zarek's crash course in Swedish that gave me a headache.
If you say so.
Lightbringer.
What exactly is going on here?
Did you want me for something?
Colonel?
Pope's wondering where Henry is. Good question. He's not showing up anywhere in the cavern.
Okay, the way I understand it, Henry's inner compass has been activated and is trying to follow its direction.
Good analogy.
I beg your pardon? There will be no nodding.
Well, Sarek has Yisha.
I don't think that's helping.
I have one word for you three.
Dismissed?
Court-martial!
Isn't that 2 words?
And I don't think you can do that to civilians, can you?
Listen, Colonel, surely the only reason we're down here is to find the unexpected solution. For all we know...
Henry could be heading in that direction.
Colonel, did you need us for something?
To be honest, now I'm not sure. But Shorty thought you three.
No.
Sorry, I meant Zarek Morgan and Biscotti.
Me?
Yes, you. Ugh. Felger and Severide have discovered an influx of refugees on the far side of the cavern. It would be a good idea to have a medic take a look at them.
Hey!
Ugh. I haven't forgotten. It seems you two have very important tasks awaiting you in Arcana, and you may be getting some help soon. Apparently some of the refugees worked in the factory back in the day. Morgan and Zarek, for some reason Shorty thinks you two are ideally suited to liaise with the refugees. Me? I'm not so sure now, but I'm hoping the dock here can keep you out of trouble. It'll take too long to go by boat, so Shorty has arranged alternative transportation. What are you waiting for? Oh dear God. Dismissed!
Never mind, Colonel. They've just arrived.
There's no need to worry. They're really quite friendly.
Hang on. Can they take Andy and me back?
What about Jared? He took a detour from the depot just to come collect us.
He can wait for these three. Say, we've got a ferry boat down at the docks. Could you possibly send our pilot a sandwich?
His name is Jared Loeb.
Aren't you staying with us?
No need. These guys will take you to Mr. Blomqvist.
Who you should watch like a hawk.
Ah, right. Welcome. I'm Frey Blomqvist, and this is...
Clara Hartman.
Sarek Meserovsky.
Morgan Lapahi.
Vittorio Brunetti.
Ah, the doctor.
Any of your party in need of medical attention?
Thanks to the Maker, we are all in excellent health.
If you weren't stopped by security on your way down...
There's more than one route into the cavern.
We're down here because we watched and waited, and the signs have arrived.
Are you talking about what is happening on the surface?
You will watch for the signs of the breakers, for the breakers will make nothing of Dunny, and Dunny will die.
But this death is a blessing, so the sign of the breakers is a blessing.
You know the Book of Words.
Only the prologue.
The situation is indeed tragic, but we have chosen to see this as an opportunity.
I'm not sure all those who's lost their homes will see it so.
We must be compassionate, of course, but it is a clear signal to those who know that the work of rebuilding is at hand. Surely that is obvious to you as well.
To be honest, unless we can come up with a better solution, we're looking at mass evacuation of the planet.
Are we supposed to be telling them this?
Morgan.
Lucas will be pleased for any help, I'm sure. I know they've been hoping to expand production. Just message me when you're ready, and I'll get them to send a ferry.
He is a good man and an excellent leader.
I beg your pardon?
I know it can sound a bit fervent at times, but he genuinely believes.
Congratulations, Captain.
Nobody can take the place of Culver, but I'll do my very best.
Firefly?
They believe you are not pleased.
Oh, we are very pleased, aren't we? Richie promised to teach them how to play Heek.
Now there will be big toil for the old ones.
Old ones?
Andy and Simon discovered some refugees on the far side of the cavern. Original explorers who worked in this very factory at the time of the DRC. There are some disused installations this age, already set up for food production. We need to make sure these repairs hold.
Richie's already done several test drives.
Well, alright then, I guess we're good to go.
Morgan?
Back there. I know you saw her again. Isha, Sarek's muse.
After listening to Frey, you must think I'm mad as well.
Not at all.
I know you, Zarek. And there's a big difference between a person of vision and someone who can't distinguish between dream and reality.
Although, apart from the odd slip into delusion, Frey seems pretty capable.
Loeb is giving us half an hour.
And I don't think this is the... Morgan!
Morgan, what are we doing here?
Didn't you get the feeling from what Clara was saying that they all think Frey is the grower?
Remind me again, the grower is?
A figure that appears in the words of the Watcher. Several volumes of, I don't know, mystical nonsense. The grower will take time, the grower will bring light, take it and move it to and fro. Many people thought Yisha was the grower. I believe she thought so herself.
Well, what she thought isn't the issue. It's what you think. I mean, why does your subconscious manifest as her?
The grower will take time. What's that all about?
It was meant to be one of the signs. In other words, people would recognize the grower by their ability to link through time. What?
Think about it, Zarek. Isn't that what we did when we went to Teledon? You know, the whole time dilation thing?
Time dilation?
So, what are you saying? That you're the grower?
You link there as well, and I'm not the one with the visions of Yisha.
Look, let's just think about this. What else did he say about the grower?
That they will bring light and give it to dark places.
Vittorio?
I'm having a bit of deja vu. A conversation I had with Lucas and Shorty. What's Lucas doing?
Right now? I think he might be in Arcana. Oh. Oh.
You're talking about the fact that his name means Lightbringer. Yeah, he made a big deal about...
Actually, Holly told me it means luminous.
Holly, is it?
What?
Well, then that would make Gabe the grower, because technically he brought all of us.
Zarek, rather than stand here and bicker about who amongst us is a chosen being, let's go back to basics.
Basics being...
Zarek is having visions of Yisha. She's literally haunting you, as if she wants you to do something? What else is this grower supposed to do?
The grower will grow the new dunny.
Huh.
I didn't meet all of them, but there didn't seem to be any urgent need for medical assistance. Remarkably healthy for refugees, actually.
Undoubtedly all that fish. According to Turner, Roger and his crack team of Barrow engineers have repaired the railway line leading to some disused food production facilities on Arcana. Apparently they just need a little bit of TLC to get them going again. These refugees. Tell me about this Blomkis guy. Severide thought he might be a problem.
He's got his convictions.
He's been imprisoned?
No, sorry, that's not what I meant. He's very persuasive, but not your typical charismatic. The group aren't enthralled, at least not as far as I can see.
Cut to the chase, Biscotti.
A very articulate and generous leader with a soupçon of delusion.
Just a touch. Well, that's reassuring.
The Colonel suggested we take you straight to Arcana.
I thought there would be more of you.
It was decided that I should come first to analyze the need.
The cavern must seem pretty empty to you. Frey?
Do you know what formula they are using?
Formula?
You mean for the pellets?
The light levels seem a bit low.
That's something you'll have to ask Lightbringer.
Lightbringer?
That's what the Barrow call Lucas. Of course, he would get the cool name.
Look, I know my way to the factory. You don't need to come with me. I got a cavern linking book.
We're actually supposed to be meeting with Lucas. Oh look, he's left us transport. I think he's mad at me for some reason.
I'm sorry.
But honestly, with Lucas it's hard to tell.
Morgan!
He doesn't really get mad. Zarek!
You should have listened to me. You didn't need to be here.
Zarek, wake up.
You shot me.
Not this time.
Frey? Where is he? Why are we whispering?
Well, if he doesn't know we're awake, we have an advantage.
Some advantage. Morgan, I don't have my wrist device.
You're right. Me neither. What are you doing?
I'm trying to move into a position where I can see.
I am truly sorry, but at least you should be safe back here. One more trip and I will have sufficient explosives. Only the true grower can bring light to the cavern.
Did he say explosives?
Zarek, without the ability to call him, how are we going to warn Lucas?
They're definitely not in Arcana.
Should I summon an escort? That was not to amuse, Lightbringer.
Sorry, I was just picturing them being snatched up and whisked out of the cavern by two of your comrades.
That would be amuse.
I'm sure they'll show up eventually. Probably giving those refugees a tour.
We found the wrist devices near the Garrison book.
You sure they belong to Lapahi and Mazarowski?
Yes, sir.
Maybe they eloped.
I beg your pardon?
It's not that far-fetched. In that other world...
But wasn't that Zarek dead?
Oh, the team in Garrison hasn't seen them. Mind you, there are untold nooks and
crannies.
Felger! Weren't they going to take some of the refugees to Arcana?
Refugees? We haven't sent any refugees down to the cavern. Have we?
I was just getting to that, sir.
Colonel, are you suggesting King and I?
We've been concentrating on setting up embarkation zones on the surface.
Give me a minute. Felger, are you still there?
I would think so. Oh, sorry, Colonel. I'm not trying to be cute. We're just leaving for the factory.
Right. As I was just about to explain...
I'm pretty sure he's gone. Can you smell bananas?
You want a banana?
No, it's just a faint...
Morgan, that's nitroglycerin. And if you can smell it, that's a lot of dynamite.
Why?
Why? Why does the madman have us tied up on a train laden with explosives? Oh, I don't know!
When you saw Yisha, did she seem alarmed?
You mean back when we first met Frey? No, actually. If anything, I think she was agreeing with something he was saying. Morgan?
I knew about the books.
The
books. You know, the Dunny Art of Writing.
What do you mean you knew?
The accounts were too detailed. They weren't otherworldly enough. But by the time I finally admitted it to myself, I was too deep in. I'd already done one world tour.
You shot me!
Oh my God! That was an accident!
All this time? You're just telling me because you think we're going to die.
Well, but I am sorry, Zarek. I really am.
You were right. That big orange pile at the front of the hopper is explosives. Dynamite from the looks of it. I tried, but I couldn't get close enough to stun Blomqvist, or to see whether he's got Lapahi and Mazarowski on board. We're too high up. You're going to have to use the dart gun.
This is it, Lisa.
It's now or never.
Did you hear that?
Lucas.
Well, aren't you two a pretty picture?
Lightbringer?
Where were you? I was worried. Morgan?
None of the team were ever in any danger. Mazarowski and Lapahi were at the back of the train.
What about Lucas?
Blomqvist was planning to relocate anyone working in the factory to the pellet silo, but it never came to that.
We really don't have time for this, but it's your decision, Sebastian.
Colonel, can we leave it with you?
Has something happened? Right. Yeah, he's fine down here. He's actually very contrite. Biscotti is watching him.
Biscotti?
I think he means Brunetti.
Ah, yes, the doctor who replaced Lev.
Come.
Milton?
Oh, hey, Gabe. Sorry to barge in, but I think you all need to hear this. Douglas, this is General Lancelot, and I think you know Beatrice Lang. Gabe, this is Wing Commander...
Milton!
You're right, sorry. Skipping ahead.
General, we've had some alarming news.
Bootleg books, can you believe it?
You what now?
Wing Commander?
I haven't examined any myself, sir, but I have it from reliable sources that there are some really dodgy books circulating on the black market.
Black market bootleg books?
But how?
Gabriel?
Sorry, If you knew the trouble we had when we tinkered with a functioning linking book.
Lieutenant Kelly wondered if a human-age writer might be behind this, producing copies of books to speed up the evacuation.
Collins?
I know Henry wouldn't have anything to do with something this risky.
Henry? Are you talking about Captain Culver?
I'm still writing that particular report, but no, I refuse to believe.
Douglas, didn't you say that these were counterfeits?
Keep in mind I've no experience of legitimate linking books, I've only just seen videos. But I'm told that the counterfeits are remarkably deceptive.
How do they get away with it, these book pirates?
People are desperate, sir.
Not to mention that some of these black market books are operational.
Actual linking books? But where do they lead?
We're trying to find out, sir. But as you can imagine, this is terribly cloak and daggerish.
Collins, you have to start sending the books to the surface.
Sorry, sir, but I really think we need to give the science guys more time. Understood. Is that a dog?
That's Walter.
Beaumont's emotional support puppy.
J'aimerais bien en avoir un aussi.
I could really do with some good news right about now.
We're definitely making progress.
Where are you?
We're actually not far from you. But I think there's something in this location that's blocking the GPS. Annie found a house near the team headquarters that resembles the office of the chief Lannieran scientist. She's given it a bit of a makeover.
Thomas!
What I'm trying to say is... Well, actually, I don't know where that was taking me. But we've been studying everything we found on Laniera. She's got a photographic memory kernel. And I mean literally.
Annie?
Yes?
Am I on speaker?
Sorry, sir. Her hearing is very sensitive. I believe she wants to tell you something.
This place is like home to me, Colonel.
You find it inspiring?
It helps me to put 2 and 2 in one basket.
Just tell me you're getting somewhere.
The consensus is verging towards positive, Colonel?
Good to know. Collins out.